Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Erica and I cannot wait to jump into today's crafting tutorial because I'm gonna be showing you guys, or I guess I should be saying we're gonna be figuring it out together, how to make some Geode car freshies. So if you're ready to try making some Geode car freshies with me, then keep watching. Alright guys, so for this craft you're going to need quite a few things. You're obviously going to need the basic car freshie supplies, your aroma beads, your fragrance oil, your mica pigment powder. I already have some beads that are scented and ready to go, and they have been curing for a while, so I'm ready to bake those. You're also going to need some type of mold. I'm using these round silicone molds that I got in a pack off of Amazon. And just like with any freshies, you're also going to need your roofing nails to create the hole in your car freshies with, some scissors, some elastic string or other type of cord to tie through your freshie, some smell-proof packaging to put your freshies in when they're all done. And then for today's video, to get the geode effect that we're looking for, I'm going to be using some Mod Podge, a paintbrush, some crushed glass that I got from Michael's. They originally came in like these pouch type packages, and I have 3 different colors here that we're going to try using. And then we're also going to be using various fabric puffy paints. I have some that are like the Tulip brand, and then I have some that are just called glitter glue, and I got these from Hobby Lobby. So some of these I paid full price for, and they were $6, but a lot of the other ones were on clearance, so maybe check your Hobby Lobby if you have one nearby, because I got this for $149 along with this hot pink one and this lighter pink one. And I also got these, they look like little foil pieces. They're just like metallic-y foil type sprinkles. And I got them in purple, and then I got one in hot pink. And these were only 99 cents. So you can't beat that. I don't know if your Hobby Lobby will still have them. I just got these like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. And then you're obviously going to need your baking sheet that we are going to bake the freshies on. Alright guys, I'm super excited to jump into this, so let's get started. Alright guys, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is preheat your oven to 300 degrees. I already have mine preheating right now. Okay, so I'm just going to line up these silicone molds, okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put my roofing nails in my silicone mold with the top of the nail facing down in the mold. Okay, and now we're going to pour in our beads. So now that we have our beads poured into our molds, here is where you can either put them in the oven and start baking them, or you can kind of pre-decorate them just a little bit so that it's less that you have to do later. And also I've noticed sometimes when you bake the decorations in with the freshie, they end up being like more secure because it's like baked within it, you know what I mean? So we're gonna be doing a little bit of both just to really test out the different various ways that we can do this. I have these like foil metallic like flakes. So I have one in purple and one in pink. One of these I'm going to glue on with Mod Podge after it's already baked. And then the other one, I think I'll go ahead and put it on now and see how it bakes with the freshie. Okay, and I just grabbed like a little plastic spoon so I can kind of spoon it out there. So maybe you guys can get a better look of it now that that lid's off. It's pretty dark unless you get it like in the right lighting, but it's so pretty. So I'm just going to kind of sprinkle this in the middle. And I don't want it to be like perfectly round. I'm kind of like pushing some out because like geodes aren't like perfect, you know what I mean? Okay, so I think that's all I'm gonna put on for now. If I need to glue on some more after it's done baking, then I will. Okay, and then with the crushed glass, I feel like it'll bake fine into the freshie, but I do also want to test like gluing it on with Mod Podge afterwards. So I think I'm going to bake 2 of them with the crushed glass, and then one of them we will glue with Mod Podge later. So there's that crushed glass, and it does kind of like look like what's in the center of like a real geode, so I think that's kind of cool. Okay, so now I have the crushed glass in there. So this one we are going to be gluing those foil pink flakes afterwards, and this one we're going to be gluing some of that crushed glass with the Mod Podge afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven that is preheated to 300 degrees, and I'm going to bake these for about 10 to 12 minutes. Alright guys, so my timer just went off for my car freshies. They've been in for 11 minutes. So I'm going to show you how I check to see if they are done or if they need to bake a little bit longer. So as soon as I pull my car freshies out, I just take my finger and I kind of press them into the beads. If the beads do not pull up with your finger, then they're good. But if the beads pull up, then they need to go in for a little bit longer, which if that's the case, I just put them back in my oven for another minute or two, and then I will just check them every minute after that until they are done. But mine are done. As you can see, they are not sticking to my finger at all. So now I'm going to show you guys a little trick that you can do that some of my viewers here on YouTube shared with me. So thank you to all the ladies that were sharing that tip. So instead of having to trim your freshies later, which we might have to do, some of these ladies were saying that they would just take something and push down those spiky edges while they're still like hot and like pliable. So you're just pushing down those spiky edges. It is like an extra step, but honestly, this saves you so much time, and it also saves my little fingers, because every time I have to trim like a bunch of freshies at once, I always end up having like blisters all over my fingers, and just not a good time. So just to save on that step, because trimming the freshies does take a lot of time, I definitely don't mind doing this step. Sometimes I forget and I still have to trim mine, because you do have to do it like right when you pull them out. So I just take this old metal spoon. I've just like added this to my Freshie tool collection. I don't use this for my food anymore, obviously, but you just take the edge of your spoon, and I'm just pushing down like all of these spiky edges around so that we don't have to trim this later. Okay, so I've pressed down all of those like jaggedy edges that were sticking up. So now I'm just going to let my freshies cool like normal, about 30 minutes or so, until they are completely cool to the touch. And then we will demold them, take out that roofing nail, and we will finish decorating them. Alright guys, so my car freshies are completely cool to the touch now, so now I'm going to demold them, and we're also going to figure out right now if all of the things that we put in the middle, like the crushed glass or the metallic foil flakes, if any of it actually stuck to the freshies since it was baked with them, or is it all just going to fall off as soon as we take it out of the molds. We're going to find out. Okay, so some fell off, but I did put like a generous amount on there. So, okay, so just like tapping it like vigorously like this made all of that crushed glass fall off. So I would say putting this on beforehand probably wasn't the greatest idea, and you should probably wait to put it on after they're baked. So that's okay. I will just take all of this crushed glass in just a minute, and we'll put a little bit of the Mod Podge in the center and reapply all that. But let me go ahead and take these off so that I can pick up that crushed glass, because I obviously don't want that to go to waste, so I'm just gonna pour that right back in the bag. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and demold these. And look at those edges. They look like I just trimmed them, but I didn't have to trim them. So that was such a nice tip. And now to find out about the foil flakes here. Okay, so most of that came off just like the crushed glass did when I tapped it. So obviously that didn't work out. So definitely wait to decorate these until after you bake them. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and decorate these. So for these foil flake ones, I'm just gonna put Mod Podge in the center and then sprinkle it on there just like I did before we put this one in the oven. So I just put that on there right over the Mod Podge. So now I'm gonna take this little plastic spoon and I'm just gonna kind of press those down there just so they're not like, you know, sticking straight up. Okay, that looks so much better. All right, so I think what I'm going to do now is take my white fabric paint and I'm just going to kind of outline my foil flakes here. Okay, so there is my little ring. So as you guys can hopefully see, I left like a little tiny space. So now what I'm going to do is kind of sprinkle this like white iridescent like opal glitter over the white line that we just created with that fabric puffy paint. So I just kind of have it in my spoon here and I'm just kind of dropping it along. And then now we have our first ring. We're not done yet. All right, so now I'm gonna take this like purpley pink glitter glue and I'm just going to kind of like outline the edge of the Freshie here. Okay, so you guys probably can't see that outer edge there, but it does have all that glitter glue around it. I think it looks so cute. Okay, and then from here, I think I want to add one last touch. Since I can't paint the Mod Podge over the foil flakes, like it'll just like pull them up whenever I start painting on them, I'm gonna use some glitter fabric paint just because it's a little bit easier to work with. And I'm just gonna put a little bit in the center of these foil flakes here, and you guys will see why in just a second. So I'm just gonna sprinkle on these like purple glitter sequins, but they're like holographic and kind of like color shift. And I think they'll kind of like blend in with the foil flakes, but then just the center will kind of have like this color shift, which I think will be really cool. Okay, and then again, I'm just gonna take my spoon and kind of press those down so that the ones that are on there will stick well. And then same thing, I'm just going to flop it over and let the excess fall off when I tap it. And there you go, there's our first geode. So now I'm gonna keep decorating these other ones. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this pink one with the foil flakes. Okay, so here it is so far. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take this like neon pink fabric paint, and just like with the purple one, I'm going to do an outline outside of our foil flakes here. Okay, and then just like with the purple one, but instead of the white opal glitter, I'm gonna be using like this neon pink, like medium chunky, iridescent pink glitter. I got this from Hobby Lobby as well. And now I'm gonna do that same outline, but this one is like more of a hot pink chunky glitter glue. But I do love that it has like a bunch of other colors in there. I think that'll look really pretty. Okay, and there's that one. Okay, guys, so for these crushed glass ones, I'm kind of worried about the Mod Podge being able to actually hold onto that crushed glass. So I think what I'm going to do is use my hot glue gun to attach all of that to the Freshies. So I already have my hot glue gun heated up here. I'm just kind of going to put it all over the area where the crushed glass goes. And then you obviously have to work like really fast before the hot glue like cools down. Okay, so I'm gonna take my spoon and kind of just make sure it's all over the hot glue and really press it on there. Okay, so there it is. That obviously worked out great. So now I'm just going to do the same thing like I did with the other Freshies and kind of just outline it. All right, so I think now I'm gonna take my glitter fabric paint, and this is gold, and I'm just going to kind of outline the edge here. As you can see, it kind of comes out like a tan color. That does dry a little bit, and you'll see more of just the gold glitter once it dries. Okay, so there's that one. So I'm gonna set this aside to dry. All right, so now I'm gonna be doing the same thing. Okay, so for this one, I'm just using another one of those glitter glues, and I'm just gonna be outlining the crushed glass. Okay, love that. You guys can probably hardly see that. I think I'm going to go ahead and pour some more glitter over that, and I'll use that glitter glue again. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that a little bit better now. Okay, now I'm going to take some Mod Podge and just kind of outline that crushed glass so I can add some more glitter. Alright guys, so now I'm going to leave my Geode Car Freshies setting for several hours so that all of the puffy paint and Mod Podge can completely dry. So my Geode Car Freshies should be dry now, so we are going to go ahead and tie some elastics and then put them on the Freshies. And I always cut about a 10 to 12 inch strand, and then I put my two ends together and then tie a knot, and I try to pull that knot towards the ends of the string there, and then I pull really tight, and then I just kind of push the elastic cord in the back of the Freshie through that hole that the roofing nail was in. And then once it's like sticking through the top a little bit, you can kind of pull it, and then I just thread the rest of the string through that loop there and then pull. And then I'll take my scissors and just trim the tips of that cord there, since they kind of become unraveled when you push them through that hole. And now this Freshie is ready to hang in our car. So there's our purple Geode Car Freshie. So pretty. Alright guys, well there is all of our Geode Freshies. I don't think I did too bad for my first time. What do we think? I think I love the turquoise and the hot pink one the best. If I had to pick my absolute favorite, I think I'm leaning towards more of the turquoise. So pretty though. Alright guys, well that's where I'm going to leave you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's crafting tutorial. If you did like it, please let me know by giving me a big thumbs up. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop a comment down below. I would love to hear what you guys think. And if you're watching this video and you're not already subscribed to my channel, then be sure to click the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.